It's inevitable that at some point while running, you're going to get injured. Running is a repetitive, high-impact sport, and if you've ever trained for a race, then you've probably found yourself in the same boat as me. I think when you first sign up for a race, the idea of it is so exciting. But once you get deep into training, you quickly forget one really important thing when it comes to running. The wear and tear that running has can really mentally and physically drag you down. And with my second marathon being just a few days away, my goal is just to focus on being as proactive as I can about healing my body and adapting to the stress that we've placed on it. Because running isn't easy, and you only get what you put into it. We ran our first marathon at 4 hours and 27 minutes. And our goal for our second is to go sub 3:45. And that is a massive PR if we can somehow pull that off with just the couple months of training that we've had. We've definitely put a lot of stress on our body, so believe me when I say that my body's had just about enough. So today we're going to make sure that we take the necessary steps to start to rebuild it. Alright, so when I look at my Coros app, right now it's saying that my best effort, which is just based on my last couple runs, my best effort for a marathon would be 8 minutes, 29 seconds per mile, which would come out to 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 18 seconds. I don't know how much I trust that, but that is encouraging, thinking that they think I can do it 3 minutes faster.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So we have one last long run of our entire training program, and that's 12 miles. So when I think about carb loading, that's probably going to take a day or two to get ready for that. But when it comes to the actual marathon, we're looking at about 3 to 4 days. My favorite sources of energy are going to be things like sweet potatoes, organic pasta, rice, and then smoothies. So what I don't want this to turn into is a video where I'm basically just telling you, here's how you avoid injury, because obviously I've not done a great job at that myself. But really I think the understanding you have to have as a runner is that it's a high impact sport, it's stressful on the body, and it is going to break down the body. The one thing you need to realize is that when your body starts to break down, you really need to be proactive and do something about it, or else you're going to deal with these injuries and they're just going to continue to nag you along your entire journey. Out of all the areas of my body that affect me the most, I would say that having very little ankle mobility and strength seems to affect me as a runner more than anything. And that's something I'm trying to put the most emphasis on trying to fix, because I think that will have the greatest impact on how I feel. At this point, icing is a steady part of my routine as well. That's something I'm doing after almost every run, especially the longer runs, because really my training plan only gives me like a day rest before I'm back to doing some like training runs and stuff like that. So I don't have a lot of time after I do these big long runs. So icing is going to be really important for me, and that's going to at least reduce the inflammation to kind of help deal with some of the pain. And obviously while it's on, it feels really good. During the runs, I'll usually put on BioFreeze. That's something I'll spray on my legs almost every time. It's not really a fix as much as it is just something to kind of ease the pain and take your mind away from your legs while you're running. I think one misconception that I had was that if I start to get shin splints or I'm hurting really bad early on in the training process, that eventually I would just kind of work through that and then those shin splints would just go away. But then again, here we are 2 weeks away and we've done 14 to 16 weeks of training, and that's still a problem every single day. Feels like there's 5 to 10 spots on my shins that if you touch, it's just like instant sharp pain right away. So the shin splints never really resolve themselves. That's one of the things I would change working on my second marathon here going into my third, is that I think I assumed that would just go away and my body would adapt. But the only way to make your body adapt is to be proactive and actually take action and start doing some of the stretching, the rehab, the foam rolling, icing, whatever you got to do. All those things are really important because without them, you're going to be where I am, stuck, feeling injured all the time, hurt. I know it's not like a major injury, but it's something that you think about every single run. So at least for the next 2 weeks, that's going to be an intense focus for me. So as we begin to taper, I just want to keep working on that, doing everything I can do to make sure that I feel as good as possible before we run our second marathon. After doing all the training that we've done, overcoming injuries and resting before race week is the best chance I have to ensure that I feel as good as I will.